I was going to do a live stream, but I figured there's not that many swings coming up, so I'm just going to make a video. Um, so I'm going to start out with SPY here. As you can see on the daily chart, following this trend line here, we have broken out of it. So I'm a little weary of entering some long-term swings or any more than we're already in, just because we have broken out. So you can expect some resistance, maybe a slight pullback, and I can confirm that with the 4-hour chart. So as you can see, it broke out of an inverse head and shoulders, which would be 342 right here. This was the breakout point. And then this candle here, this little doji star, is a bearish candle. So, and it's actually sitting right at the 346.83 resistance. So, and that's carried over from August. So it touched it August 26th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. And it's just had trouble kind of getting out of there. It is also overbought at this level. So again, let's switch over to the raindrop chart. You can see like these huge volume bursts coming in. So it's just heavy buying up here. I'm a little concerned about it. I think that it's not going to be a major pullback, but maybe one to the 342 level. So I'm just kind of waiting for that to happen before really entering any. But the ones that are on watch would be, so let's go to DQ. Let me get out of the raindrop, do candles. So we just have a little bit of a consolidation point up here. Let's see here, 4 hours. So huge movement out of this cup breakout down here. And then it's a little bit of a bull flag forming. Let's see if there's anything extra on the 30-minute. So you can see it's touching this resistance line up here. Great movement all throughout these candles. And then it's just holding this level really well. And it's a triple top now, so we can expect to see a move. And, you know, stocks are attracted to round numbers. So a $200 point, I think, would be the next move, you know. So Monday, Tuesday, we should see this move up to 200. Once it gets past that, I think that it's going to have a pretty easy move to 210. As you can see, this point down here is 176 and it's at 196. That was a $20 move in just what, one day. So watching that closely. And then let's see here, what else do I have? So on the 1 hour, we have a bull flag forming. Granted, this is kind of a small one, but as you can see right here was the cup and handle broke out of there. It's been really strong since then, just on the last 2 days. So we have a nice little bull flag forming there. Let's see what's going on the 4 hour. And that looks really strong. You have a cup, a larger cup forming up here. I have the resistance point marked out. So with that one, you know, we have range to move from 98 to 100, and then it's going to start getting some resistance. If it breaks out above 154, that's where you would really start to watch it. So set alerts for kind of like 101 area, and then we're going to have to wait for it to break out above 102. But this is going to be kind of the tell-all, whether it makes it or breaks it. And if it doesn't, then we should see a pullback to this level here at 95. So this one possibly this week, but probably just sometime this month. So these are all swings that I'm just kind of like looking at for the month of October. Nike, I have posted about this one before. So I'm just gonna go over the chart one more time here. This is a cup breakout here. So this would be obviously the cup, tiny little handle, but it has had an excellent run past that. This pretty large gap up. Hopefully it doesn't go for a gap fill. I personally think it would have by now, just with the amount of time that's been in between there. And so it has broken out of the flag pattern, and now it is resting on top of the previous high. So, it's sitting at all-time highs right now. And let's see here. So I'm already in this swing, but I do kind of want to wait a little bit before I buy more contracts. If we can hold this level really well, then I'll be entering, just because this is kind of your entry point. But this one we should see continuing up higher around 140, 150 possibly. And then booking, again, a tiny little bull flag up here on the 1 hour. We can go over that in a second. Let's go over the 4 hour chart. So head and shoulders, and as you can see, it broke that pattern right here. So it made a strong recovery through that, and that is a kind of a bearish candle right there. As you can see, we had a similar one right here, the little doji star, and it went all the way down from 1747 to 1683. So almost, what is that, like almost $100, like a $65 move. But it is nice that it just had a pretty large recovery, and it was up here at 1967. So we have 140, however many dollars, 140 something dollars to move back up until we hit any major resistance. So once it breaks out above this, we kind of get to this level right here. 1840 is really going to be the point to watch. If we can clear 1840 and we hold this resistant line fairly well, then we should have a $100 move from 1840 up to 1960. So that one would be probably month-long, month-out calls, 6 weeks out, but that one should pay really well. So I'm excited about BKNG. And then for the last one, we're going to go over Netflix. So this one here, we have a cup forming. It is kind of trending down. Let's see if that pulls up on the Heikin Ashi. Okay, so let's check out the 1 hour. So it is an ascending triangle. It's making higher highs, higher lows, but it is approaching this resistance line, which you can see was an issue for it up here. And that's just starting from this candle. This is, trying to break this cut pattern. It looks like this one is going to try to form a handle, so I would assume that we would see it down here around 520. And if that happens, just look for it to hold that level before entering anything. You could ride it from 520 back up to 540, or just wait for it to complete all of that and then ride it post breakout of the 540 level. But if it does break and it holds this, then we should see a higher move up towards 550 and 600. I do think Netflix sees 600 before the end of the year, so 2021 calls on this will do very well. I believe I have December calls right now, but I'm going to be grabbing some 2021s, possibly September-ish, September 2021. And this one, obviously Netflix has extreme growth, so it's a safe one to get into. Just be wary of a handle forming before you enter anything. You really want to see it hold above this line for at least on the daily chart before entering, just because premiums are huge, and with it being Netflix, it's traded a lot. The volatility is going to be pretty big on this one, just due to the fluctuations, like from 530 down to 502, that kind of stuff. And then I think this was probably their earnings up here, 550. Yeah, that was their earnings. So huge volatility on this. Just play this one carefully, but should be a very profitable trade. So that is all we're looking at. I haven't done anything with Piton. I really think we're due for a pullback on this. I'm not going to be entering anything. As you can see, the RSI is up at 78. This is very overbought. I haven't charted this one out or looked at it really. I'm just looking at this chart. This is nuts. So I'm really expecting this to have a pullback soon. So I will be finding on Monday, Tuesday, possibly finding a level to enter for puts, because it is going to be falling back around 117, possibly down to 114. So it just depends on how high it goes before we see that drop, but it is definitely coming. So watching Peloton closely as well. Aside from that, that's everything. Just be careful of a SPY pullback, check SPY, QQQ, just the entire sector. Watch for a pullback on that, because that's going to be happening. It's going to be minor, but the rest of the stocks that we went over, I think, are going to be pretty solid trades. So hopefully that gives us some entry points this week. If not, it'll definitely be this month.